day, Ruskin Joyous. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time for my birthday. Yay! Also, Easter week 1, 2026, April 2nd, 2026. So, Easter skins. Let's be very straightforward with you. Easter skins aren't in demand. Sorry to say, but holiday skins. Unfortunately, when it's out of season, yeah, they tend to go down in value. So, you might sit and say, what about in anticipation to next year's Easter? Oh, buddy, no. The only holiday that actually tends to get some traction as we get closer and closer to the next instance of it is Christmas. And if anything, you're probably better off investing into Christmas skins right now. I'm not joking. So, okay, a bit harsh, but it's the truth. So, it might be quick today because I don't really have that much to talk about. But all I'd recommend to you is just go on SCMM, for example. Look at the top right here, click the time notch, and just look at previous Easter skins, all right? Previous Easter Rustors, we'll go to April 6, 2023, and oh wow, Guardian of Easter hoodie, that's actually doing pretty good. But if I can recall, this is actually being treated as a budget whiteout option. You cover the black portion there with a whiteout chest plate. You're saving yourself quite a few pennies. All right, cool. But at the very least, typically of like holidays, the skins we see, it's usually the clothing and the armor that works out quite nicely. With anticipation for more sequels in the future, whilst it's nice to anticipate, there are no guarantees, and you have to wait a year. So, okay, understood. But let me tell you, there does tend to be some pretty interesting things with holiday clothing and armor. You just have to really hope it happens. I mean, Lunar New Year, just a while back, we're hoping for a certain tier 3 to be accepted. Didn't happen. So, okay. Not exactly super positive at the moment. I'm sorry, but just being truthful with you. But out of all the skins, I truly believe they're pretty much going to go down in price. Except I'm behind Easter Bloom Tier 2. Initially, I didn't really care for it. But after I actually looked at it, after I actually tested it out, hold on a second. So it's quite interesting because the same skin creator made that Fawned Love Valentine set. And I just kept getting so many people asking me, saying, Hedge, why haven't you tested this out? Why haven't you checked this out? It's pretty good for green camouflage. No. Sorry to say. But what I will sit here and say is Easter Bloom is better. I tested out Fawned Love. Didn't care for it. The red roses and whatnot, But I would respect if we saw tier 3 or hoodie and pets next year for next year's Valentine's, that would still spike a price. But this right here, I mean, $2 a piece. But after testing it out, and you know, you could go over to my YouTube. By the way, we've already had the first 24 hours of sales. Sales are all right. For Easter, not too bad. But please, 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 please consider watching my Rust rotation video. Skip ahead to the chapter where I'm literally doing Easter Bloom Tier 2 camouflage checks. Because you will be surprised with what you see. I put on Forest Raiders. I put on cheaper clothing, such as flashbacks, for example. It does a very good job. And you're going to sit there and say, but hang on a minute. It's got like orange and like purple and whatnot. Yeah, even then. From a certain distance, you don't even see those colours anymore. In fact, I do have a short video showcasing this. So let's just quickly hop over to Hedge, the main channel. Oh, look at that. There's a 3-minute video specifically only talking about that right there. And I think you will be impressed with what you see. So, Hedge, you've never sounded so positive. Well, it's my birthday. Anyway, so. But, no, seriously, I am behind this. Even without a sequel in the future, I still think that works out quite nicely. Now, again, if we do see Easter Bloom Tier 3 hoodie and pants or boots and gloves in the future, that will spike a price ever so nicely. But will it actually catch on? Because, again, as I just pointed out, the first 24 hours of sales have in fact already happened, and these barely sold. Like, to give you a very rough estimate, it's expected this is going to barely reach 10,000 subscribers after its 7-day tenure in the Rust store. Basically, by next Thursday, it's doubtful. But then again, if I keep bigging it up, it probably might just about reach over 10,000. Which is still low. Still very low. So, you know, if I could just quickly hop back and remind you that for Lunar New Year, we did see another green set, didn't we? So we saw the green Jade Dragon Tier 2. That also didn't sell that much. It also went down in price. Perhaps with other options coming out, people preferred them over this. Probably. But then again, we're going through bad times right now, aren't we? We're going through the Easter dip. So maybe these have just gone down in price because it's the Easter dip. What happens when it's July and August time? Will certain skins here suddenly bounce back up? That is to be expected. So, okay, understood. So anyway, I'm behind this 2-2 set. I am behind it, and I do believe that's going to work out quite nicely. But people have to be aware of its existence for the demand to be there. I've put the short video out. I've put a tweet out. We'll see what happens next. But out of all the Easter skins you see here, for anything to actually work out as an actual nice investment, it's probably just the tier 2. And if you've seen the footage of it yourself, I think you would agree. And unfortunately, as I've already established, well, Easter skins, they don't tend to work out very nicely. Now, let's just jump in and talk about the brand new items. So, things made by Facepunch themselves, I refer to as items. So, of course, we have the brand new bunny costume, we have the brand new Amethyst Rustigé egg, and, of course, we have the wallpapers. They're all expected to go down in price as well. Well, Hedge, no, I'm being truthful with you. It's expected. So let's just quickly showcase to you previous Rustigé eggs. Last year, we had the cerulean blue Rustigé egg, sold at $8. It went all the way down to $2. What? And then, of course, before that, we had the Rustigé white egg, sold for $6.49. Went down to $2. What? Well, let's just quickly give you the quick showcase. So, as you might see over here, right now, this is currently sitting here at just about $6. It did eventually recover, but it took about 2 years, and it looks like a buyout happened for it to happen here. So anyway, look at what happens initially. It goes down, then someone finds out an exploit for them, so it spikes up for a while, then it's fixed, so it goes back down again. And during the autumn fall seasonal dip for the year it came out, this went to less than $2. What? Yep, that happens. I'm sorry to say, but you've got to learn from this. Brand new Rustigé eggs, they might be interesting, they might be shiny. Oh, wow, I like to collect them all. But they go down in price. Do they ever recover? Well, in this particular instance, you can see it happened here, and older ones have in fact recovered, but it takes time. You're much better off with a Barda for sure, 100%. So cerulean blue, we saw this last year. Let me just quickly grab you. Let's go take a look at you as well. So sold for $8 as well. This right here, yep. It was pretty interesting back then, but guess what? It also went down in price. And it is starting to recover right now, but it's still about half the price it was when it sold for $8. Ooh. So as you can see, around the summertime, oh my, around the summertime, it's down to about $2 to $2.50. It went down in price, and you can see that right there for yourselves. So just learn from the past. It is expected that this brand new Amethyst egg, it's very likely going to go down in price as well. So, now that I've mentioned this, maybe a lot less people are going to buy it, and then suddenly this actually works out better compared to the other eggs. Hey, we'll see. But the behaviour we've seen with the 2 previous eggs is that's expected to go down in price. If you're going to be like 100% sure you definitely get it, just offer half the amount. It would not surprise me in the slightest if you managed to pick it up for $4. It really wouldn't. So, alright, cool, understood. What about the costume then? Because that's pretty goofy, that's pretty silly. True, yeah, I mean, I would agree, it looks nice. But we've had the chicken costume, and we've also had the horse costume, and unfortunately, they have gone down in price. But I should also point out, they're also cheaper now, $8 a piece, which, okay, fair enough. But let's just learn from the horse costume last year. This didn't really work out very nicely. When we saw the first year of the chicken costume on the Steam market, it actually did quite alright. It actually managed to go above its rust price. It looked pretty good. I thought the same thing could happen with this horse costume. Nope. Nope. Perhaps a lot of people jumped onto it, which is the reason why it suffered initially, but yeah, it suffered. Sold for $10. It got as cheap as about $5 at one point. It went to half its price. Now, of course, when we went through post-Christmas, it did recover a fair bit, but then everybody realised, oh, hang on a minute, Lunar New Year, it's the year of the horse. And then we saw the horse mask being added to the game, and boom, suddenly everybody decided to buy it. I don't think we're going to have anything like this for the rabbit costume, the bunny costume. You might sit there and say, what about the year of the rabbit? You've got to wait another 10 years for that. Oh, so, yeah. So basically, I'm a little bit tentative. I'm going to be a little bit cautious with this bunny costume. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fairly decent chance I could buy it for half the price with a Barda. So, yeah, I'm expecting these brand new items to go down in price. I haven't even talked about the wallpapers. All you got to do is just look at, like, previous wallpaper skins. And you might be, unfortunately, surprised to find out that the recent holiday, Halloween, Christmas wallpapers here, yeah, they went down in price. They're down to half their price and less. Huh. So we've even got the wallpaper, the floor paper is what I call it. Down 49, down 44, both sold at $3 a piece as well. I do like Easter grass though. It's growing on me. But I like it. I think that's a pleasant one. But I do believe all of them will go down in price. We haven't had like a full proper cycle yet. So, of course, the first seasonal wallpapers we saw being added were the Halloween ones. I guess you could say Lunar New Year wallpaper pack, but nah. When we have Halloween again this year, I fully expect all of those Halloween wallpapers to return. Now, if they're all half their price at the moment, if they're selling at the same price they sold for last year, which was $3 a piece, will they bounce back up to $3? Well, that means I'll be able to flip them for a profit. But basically, it's expected every year from here and now, every Halloween, every Christmas, every Easter, we'll see the same wallpapers being brought back again and again and again and again. Maybe they'll add a new one for each year. We shall see. But I don't have the highest of hopes with the Easter wallpapers. So, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but not really expecting much. Now, some of you might be sitting here and saying, but Hedge, why don't you talk more about the skins? There's a brand new Salvaged Axe right there. It's the first one ever. Oh my goodness, look at it, look at it, look at it. No, 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 no. Warning, warning, warning! Okay. Brand new Skinnable. What happens with brand new Skinnables? Oh yeah, we tend to see a lot of skins being accepted for them. Case in point. SKS first became Skinnable back in February, alright? How many SKS skins have we had since then? Okay, yeah. If you haven't fully realised, for the past 6 weeks, we have seen an SKS skin being accepted. It's just been acceptance after acceptance after acceptance after acceptance. Yeah, what happens then? Well, you might notice, with the first proper releases of some SKSs, they've immediately gone down in price. Down 51, down 61, down 44, down 55. Yeah, it's not looking very pretty. But that was to be expected. Like, I'm sure you saw the video before where I talk about brand new Skinnables. When we first saw the bed skins being added, I was like, you know what? If we're going to see a brand new Skinnable for every single month from here and now, I have to warn people about brand new Skinnables. Because it was easy to foresee what was going to happen with those brand new bed skins. Well, if you don't know what happened, we'll quickly showcase it to you. So, the first ever instance of brand new Skinnables for every single month. The beds first become Skinnable. Everyone's amazed. Everyone's impressed. The first few skins, they come out, they sell absurd amounts. 30,000 plus, 45,000 plus sales or subscribers. Down 64, down 75. But what happened? Well, more options appeared. The first few that came out, they were interesting. They were the only options we had. But then more, and more, and more, and more accepted. Twitch drops, kick drops, more options appear. And now when you look at it, the majority of them aren't doing very well at the moment, are they? No. So, yeah, this is what happens with brand new Skinnables. Now, again, it is the Easter dip. Quite a lot of skins are suffering. But the point still remains, they all sold a lot, and now they suffer because of it. Because other options have appeared, and other options also look pretty interesting in their own way. People would probably rather just stick with those ones, the newer ones. So, okay, understood. This right here, it's a very cool looking design, although weirdly had a weird issue. I couldn't see the skin in third person last night when I was looking at it in my rust rotation video. Hopefully that's fixed. I hope it didn't affect anybody else. But anyway, based on what I'm looking at here, cool, nice. But it's an Easter skin, and there's no salvaged ice pick. So there was a push. There was a push for this month in particular, where they only want to see salvaged axes, but then maybe next month or month after that, then they want to see salvaged ice picks being paired with them as a group. So you have stone tools, regular tools, and salvage tools. But for this month, just salvaged axes. So we should also point out, over the course of this weekend, we should be expecting regular skins to return. Yes, regular non-holiday skins are expected to return. What interesting collection continuations could we see? What collections could we see getting salvaged axes being made? Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But that's the point I want to get across. There will be more salvaged axe skins. Yeah, it's very nice to see it happen now. But, well, yeah, point made. I'm sure you understand now. That's very likely going to sell quite a decent amount, but then get lost in the shuffle as time goes on. Yeah. So, very sorry to say, I know I was very abrupt and very straightforward with today, but I'm sure you'd agree people don't care about Easter skins. Like, I know some people stand up and say, but Hedge, this has a very transparent aim sight, much like what we'll see with a Twitch drop and a kick drop. True, but we also have a lot of skins like that now. If anything, I should also point out the skin creator here, Mr. Fuff, he quite literally made a cheaper skin right here called the Olympus AK-47, which is very nice and actually retaining its value. That also has the exact same aim sight as this right here, and it's $1 cheaper. Oh. And there's many more instances like that. So yeah, okay, look, the Easter skin looks pretty goofy, pretty silly, ha 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 ha. But I will not be surprised the slightest if that gets lost in the shuffle. I think it'll do better compared to most AK-47s. I still think it's going to drop down in price though. Sorry to say, but yeah, that is my expectation. A lack of sales could probably help it out. You know what? I wouldn't deny that. I think that probably could help it out in that regard. But I still expect it to potentially not be used as much. I believe you're much better off just grabbing yourself like an Olympus AK-47 or sticking with a Twitch drop that you've already got so far. Again, there will be more Twitch drops this year. There will be more kick drops this year, alright? Although, skin creators... the people with the drops probably get an SKS instead. What do you reckon? So, alright, cool, okay, we get it. And whilst I did showcase this, in comparison with the work crate, I mean... Did the work crate only ever succeed because Wildjum used it? That's something I'm constantly thinking in my head. Because it's doing well for itself, but you can clearly see when Wildjum used it. I wonder. I wonder when Wildjum used it. Yes. Maybe here? Maybe? Oh, I don't know. So, yeah. So, if you don't know, you can hide these inside rocks, and that's pretty helpful. So, cool. Understood. So everything else here, you're just better off with a Balder. That's my answer. Right, let's also quickly point this out. Player count. Oh my. Well then, look at that. So for the first time ever, and I've even made a tweet about this, for the first time ever, for April, we've actually seen the player count go over 200,000. I am quite surprised by that. Are you telling me only March was going to be a bad month with the Easter dip? I honestly believe it's because, well, you know, the Force Wipe also happened to happen around the same time as the Easter weekend. So I ask you now, the viewer, do you have time off right now? In the UK particularly, we have Good Friday and Easter Monday off. So, yeah, 4-day weekend. Perhaps the timing just, you know, the stars aligned and everything, it was A-okay. Answer, I'd like to know, because I feel like that's probably the reason why. Will the rest of this month also be pretty good? I mean, I should also point out we do have 5 April Rust stores this month. So it might get a bit tiring after a while, we shall see. But of course, as I said, keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend. Interesting non-holiday skins are expected. Will we see more naval camo? Will we see another attempt for the likes of Black Ops clothing and armour? Oh, that might be pretty interesting. Well, feel free to comment below. We'll see. So, cool. Is there anything else to address? Well, I should also quickly hop over to here. So, Industrial DLC, if you aren't fully well aware of this, you know, like how we had the base decor DLC pack? We got like a bunch of interesting items to have a nice sort of vibe inside your base, nice and comfy. Well, it looks like there's going to be an industrial version of this. Now, with great respect to Mr. Protox on Twitter, he's the one who informed me of this and everybody else. But it definitely looks as if the electric furnace could become skinnable soon. It was actually mentioned here somewhere. But we've now seen mentions in the industrial DLC that there's going to be a special industrial furnace, large furnace, auto turret, and I believe its very own batch of shelves. So, okay. Well, that sounds pretty interesting. And I know some people are going to sit there and say, oh, great, more DLC to buy. You'll still buy it, though, won't you? You'll still buy it. You're not strong enough to say no. Oh. I mean, hey, we'll see. So, yeah, looks as if a lot of interesting skins will be added. And it looks like that'll probably be available for May, or maybe more likely June time. So, okay, we'll see how that goes. But in regards to the next big fat content update, I'm not sure what that is. I mean, you can see they're working on the apartment complex monument, but anything to the scale of the naval update, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I guess the next big massive content update will be like the farm update, when they make it so that you can farm animals, such as cows and apparently sheep as well. So, alright, cool. That's pretty much everything that needs to be said. So, if you want to stay aware of all the new skins that are being submitted to the workshop, but you haven't got yourself your own followed authors list set up, just look at micro522.com. As you'll see over to here, all you have to do is just click date submitted once and you will see all the newer skins. And the majority of them do appear over the course of Monday. Alright, so keep an eye out. Some interesting skins will be on the horizon. Just gotta wait and see what actually gets submitted though. So, yep. I hope I kept it reasonably short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I kept you informed in regards to everything that's reasonably interesting. And that's basically it. That's a wrap. And thank you very much to all the people who offered some nice birthday wishes and whatnot. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the Easter egg hunting. And avoid trying to pick up tigers. They're not Easter eggs. They're not Easter eggs.